Hi, I'm Dominic Picardo here for Spreadbet Magazine, this week with a special update on the price of gold. Now, I'm very optimistic about the outlook for the gold price, even though the price has already gone up massively over the last dozen years or so from its major lows of around $250 an ounce back in the year 1999. I don't think the party's over. I think there's a lot more to come from gold. But at the same time, I recognise that there are a lot of people out there who are saying that gold has already gone too far, and that this major high that we saw last September of around $1,925 an ounce represents the highs for gold, and gold is now, gold may even have got into bubble territory and is now set to deflate. Well, I don't agree with that view at all. I see this activity over the last 10 months or so as being a correction within a long-term uptrend. And I've looked back over history at both at this bull market, the present bull market, and that which took place in the 1970s. And it's actually perfectly normal, and what's more, perfectly healthy, for the gold price to have an extended correction like this in the middle of an uptrend, and after that it can resume its previous uptrend. And today's uptrend, today's correction isn't particularly severe in the scheme of things. Back in the middle of the 1970s, gold had gone up already by a significant amount, and then actually shed 50% of its value, but then continued its the massive bull run that had begun in the late 60s, early 70s. So today's drop, which has been about 20% over a 10-month period, is entirely normal. 3 times in the last year, we've seen gold find a floor around this $1,525 level. So clearly, the buyers come in at around this level, and gold is fairly well propped up. But even if this gives way, I would still be optimistic about the outlook for gold. I think gold could drop to into the $1,400 region, or maybe even below that, and yet still the long-term uptrend would still be intact. The case for gold is really well underpinned by the persistent inflation that I believe is on the cards for the coming years. We already live in an age where interest rates are insufficient to keep up with rising inflation. This is a deliberate ploy by the Bank of England, by the Federal Reserve, by the other central banks around the world. It's a deliberate ploy to eradicate the over-indebtedness in society by the back door. And it's going to keep happening. And in this environment, I can see the price of gold heading back to $1,925 and well beyond. I've looked at the point and figure chart of gold, which gives nice objective targets for the medium to long term. And one of the very prominent targets that comes out of these charts is one of around $2,400 an ounce, and I think gold will make it to there, and I think that is actually a pretty conservative target. I think gold will go through there. The big question, of course, is when this sort of move is going to begin, and for now, I don't see much sign of that happening. Some people have pointed out to me lately that in each of the last few Julys, or at least the last 3 Julys or so, gold has begun a major rally. You can see that happened here, and it happened here, and it happened here in 2009 as well. But in 2012, at least for the moment, I don't see any sign of that happening. At the very least, what I'd like to see to convince me that the uptrend was resuming is a big move through this red line that you can see here. This is the 21-week exponential moving average, and you can see over time it has tended to act often as a floor to the price of gold, but lately it's acted as a ceiling. Gold hasn't been able to break decisively through here for much of this year. So a big move through there would help to convince me that we were back at the races. In the meantime, there is quite frankly no clear trend, and in that environment, the most I can do is take very short day-to-day trades. Most of the ones I've been looking at lately have been shorting gold, looking for small drops back into the 1550 region. So for now, there is no big opportunity here, at least for shorter term traders. I think from a long term perspective, gold is an excellent buy at these levels. But from a spread betting point of view, I'm going to be waiting for further evidence before I try and get involved here. As soon as I reckon the uptrend is back on, I'll let you know.